Is Brazil in a phase of extreme political crisis?
Well, clearly, yes. I mean, it was clear from the start that Temer was going to be a stopgap solution. The reason why Dilma Rousseff was impeached and why he was put there was basically a deal struck between a political class hounded by corruption allegations and finance and big business, which had an interest in using this economic and political crisis as an opportunity for passing a certain amount of reforms that they were interested in and that are ultimately only good for them. The problem is that was always going to be a very unstable agreement because on the one hand, these measures, these reforms are highly unpopular. 72% of the population are against the proposed pension reforms that the government are discussing now. And on the other hand, the corruption allegations are very strong. The investigations continue, and they continue to involve the political class. And basically, this is what's happened now. The investigations got to Temer, and so the market fears that he won't be able to deliver the measures, and they've started looking somewhere else.
If we could look at the passion of the protesters, which one is it? Are they more against the policies like, you know, the pension policies and so on, or are they more against the fact that they feel he's as corrupt as the previous regime and they feel that the politicians are dirty? Which one is it?
I think it's both of them. And the reason is obvious. The people who are now running the government and their supporters in the Congress and in the Senate made a huge campaign which lasted for a year regarding the fight against corruption, on the back of which they managed to impeach the president, the democratically elected president. Now everybody knows, and there is absolutely ample and irrefutable evidence, that the corrupt ones is them. And not only they are corrupt to the extent that they are, and that I'm sure there is more stuff that is going to come out, but they are implementing one of the worst imaginable neoliberal programs that is affecting millions and millions of people, including middle-class people. There is no question about it. Right. That is, people are mobilizing for the two of them. The government basically is imploding.
Okay, it's interesting that you say that, but isn't it more plausible that actually Dilma was also corrupt? Is it more plausible that, yes, Dilma was corrupt, and then this guy is also corrupt, they're all corrupt, rather than the corrupt ones impeached the innocent ones?
She was accused of petaladas fiscais. She was accused of financial maneuvering, something that every single president in Brazil has been practicing since 1995. And the same political class accepted this financial maneuvering every single other time, except when it came to her. Remember, she was impeached on those grounds, not on any other grounds, which is the case with every single politician that's been found to be corrupt, such as Eduardo Cunha. So I don't think there is any evidence yet to demonstrate that she was corrupt as they are. In terms of the judiciary, there are people who are so openly partisan regarding what they do as judges, such as Gilmar Mendes, and such as Sergio Moro, who is engaged in persecution, for example, of people such as Lula for 3 years without any evidence, and continues to leak information to the media in order to create a campaign. This has never been done anywhere in the world. So therefore it seems to me that the judiciary now that is being strengthened is a good thing, but it's 10% of what is required. Remember, the previous head of the Supreme Court actually died in a plane accident. There is much more that needs to be done because the number of people who are involved at the level of the political class, particularly in the Congress and in the Senate, that are involved in corruption is too many. So many of them actually have been investigated for years and years and years, and nothing has been done against them, such as Aécio Neves, who is just beginning to feel the pinch, and it's not clear exactly where that is going to go.
Would an election go a long way to sorting out Brazil's problems in the next 12 months?
Yes and no. So yes, in the sense that it would mean that the reform program would have to be discussed publicly. In that sense, yes, that it would force the people who are arguing for these reforms to seek a popular mandate for them, and I doubt that they would get it. On the other hand, any result that could come out of elections at this point, either this year or next year, are more likely to be a symptom rather than a solution to the political crisis we're going through. What we're seeing is very profound crisis of trust in the political class, in the political system as a whole, and institutions themselves.
Não renunciarei.
I won't resign.
Repito.
I repeat,
Não
I
renunciarei.
won't resign.
He, in particular, knows that if he renounces, chances are he'll be arrested pretty soon. And this is what he's negotiating at the moment. He's negotiating the possible terms for his renunciation because the people who put in there feel that he's no use anymore because he won't be able to pass the reforms.
The political class are discussing the possibility of impeaching Temer and perhaps deciding to elect somebody indirectly by decision of the Senate and the Congress. If they were to do that, the amount of legitimacy that Temer has, the next person will have even less for a start. And I think it's very likely the country will explode. Already people are in the streets, and it's up to them to decide whether they want Lula or somebody else. But it's clearly the case, if there are, as they call themselves, direita já, I think at least the country will be taken back to the path of democracy, so that somebody who is elected will have the possibility of discussing democratically what is to be done regarding the problems that the nation faces. Anything else short of that is just going to make the crisis much worse. And for me, the question is how long Temer is going to survive, and what sort of a scheme are the political class are going to come up with, which I think it looks very unlikely to be the right one.
Yeah, lots of questions about Temer's future and the future politically of the country. We'll be keeping a close eye on Brazil. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure talking to all three of you.